Today, folks, this market continues to be nothing short of exceptional. It has pumped my portfolio to a new all-time high thanks to the purchases we made last week. We bought more of VDI, that monthly paying Canadian dividend ETF I love so much. We bought like another 4,000 or 5,000 worth. We picked up 5 shares of Meta in the 500s. Now we're pumping back into the 600s. In my main account here, I'm still down about 2%, but thankfully my fiance owns a sizable chunk that she bought back during the pandemic lows 5 damn years ago. But Google up 6% yet again today, which is insane. I regret selling the shares that I sold, like, when we were up 40%, just like not even a month ago. But even now, between all the positioning that we have, Google is now 10% of our combined accounts again, this largest single stock position in all of our accounts. And I'm going to tell you what I plan on doing with that position. But right now it is the AI and tech stocks pumping us to new all-time highs. I want to talk about that in tandem with the Canadian markets because the precious metal stocks are still booming to new all-time highs with all the negative rhetoric from these news outlets on the economy, and they just jam it down your throat. The only thing you need to do, guys, is just keep buying where it makes sense to buy, especially on dips like this, because I just can't get over this rally. So we'll talk about Google first, right? Because Google went from being like the cheapest in its entire history from a valuation standpoint to the upper echelons and the most expensive that it's traded at in its history, all within a several month time frame. Pat myself on the back for picking the best performing mega cap tech stock this year. It's insane, trading at almost a 32 PE, a $3.8 trillion market cap. If you take a look, when it was trading at a 17 price to earnings multiple, guys, you'd have to go back to like 15 years ago to see those level of values. And now at a 31, back coming out of the pandemic, it was trading at a 30, but to see the 31 plus, you'd have to go back to the 2010 era. So it's going to be neat to see if Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett, if they continue to accumulate Google, or if they're just going to hold, or if they're going to take profit here. I don't know, because it is now comparably valued to the other mega cap tech companies they're selling, like Apple. They've been selling Apple for a while now, but Microsoft trades at a $3.5 trillion value and a 33 PE. And we're not even touching a 33 PE yet with Google, right? So it trades right in between the value of Apple and Microsoft. So on the next update for the S&P 500, because it's a market cap weighted ETF, we're going to see Google sitting between Apple and Microsoft. So it'll probably be about a 6.7% weighting. And that is something that we have to take into some consideration between my fiance and I, because in our combined accounts, 50% of our portfolio is just in the S&P 500. So if 50% of our holdings are in the S&P, that means from that VOO position, Google's about a 3.5% weighting. So we have to add that 3.5% to the Google position that we hold individually, which between our accounts makes up about 6.5% right now. So that brings the total weighting up to almost 10%, guys. And then you got to plop on the fact that Meta, in the combination of all of that, is about 7%. So we have about somewhere between 17%, roughly, give or take, just in those two stocks. And I'm very happy with that weighting. But I have no plans to sell Google here, but I want to try and invest away from it. Like, all my new capital is mainly going into VDY right now, and I'll maybe look for some other investments into next year, because I don't want to get rid of any more Google shares, but I can't have these two stocks becoming like 25% of our combined accounts. That's just too concentrated, and I would be forced to trim the position just out of my own personal risk tolerance. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it levels off here a little bit, but I'm definitely planning on going long the shares that we currently have nonetheless. Now, the portfolio value should be worth around $555K today. My portfolio tracker with iCloud numbers really only updates about, once every 24 hours. But if you appreciate these tools, if you want to see what my fiance and I, our combined accounts look like, and get a little bit more knowledge, go to kylelivingston.com. The link's in the description below. You can support the channel that way as well. But regardless, I think Meta is now where Google was. I think Meta is grossly undervalued comparable to the mega cap tech companies, because it's considering its growth rate is superiorly higher. And I think buying the shares we bought, I'm going to look back and pat myself on the back here, because eventually this thing is going to run back up to $700. It'll be trading at a 30 PE, and maybe one good earnings or a good bull market will take us there. But man, it did not take us very long to go from the lows here to pump back up, into the 600 range. But time will tell whether that holds true or not. Comparably, VOO, I mean, if you bought bought the dips, you would have seen a good 2.5% gain. If we take a look, it is still trading off about 2.6% from the all-time high, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get there. I feel like the Christmas rally is starting at this point because man, oh man, look at the tech companies. The rest of the market hasn't rallied all that much, but my God, guys, Amazon, Tesla, if I zoom out here and get my head out of the way, you can see Tesla's up 6.8%, Meta, Google, even Microsoft and Nvidia, Apple not moving as much, but still, I mean, Palantir's up 6%. AVGO, guys, the semiconductor space is just on fire again today. So it clearly shows that these dips in the market are just opportunities to buy when people are freaking out, right? And I mean, Amazon is helping drive a lot of this value today because Amazon posted an article that they're continuing to invest another $50 billion in AI for U.S. government customers. Amazon actually trading at, reasonable values if we're comparing it to, I think these companies deserve around a 30 PE personally. I said that about Google. I think Google was fairly valued probably to 26 to 28, but comparing it to the mega cap tech, you got to put a premium on it. 30s is closer to the fair value range. So I don't think these stocks are crazy expensive here. And in fact, could be good buying opportunities. Regardless, if you take a look, we've also seen bigger AI jumps with Gemini. My God, guys, I'm not using the paid version, but I'm watching people use it. They're using it to buy their Christmas gifts, answer their emails, and they're doing some mild upgrades. I don't think Gemini 3 was the biggest upgrade, but still, they have been continuing to advance a lot of the tools out there. Regardless, on the Canadian side of the border, we better get excited because we're into a pivotal earnings season and a defining factor to what happens, especially to VDI, my monthly paying Canadian dividend ETF, because we've gotten some earnings this week. I'll update some of those, but next week we're getting the mega cap banks, man. And Royal Bank is almost 15% of VDY. So we're going to see all the big banks, Royal Bank, TD, BMO, BNS, CM, National. So subscribe because we're going to go on a Canadian bank, rampage, Christmas special almost, I should say, next week. But yeah, if we take a look, man, with those position weightings, VDY is just starting to crest its all-time high again today. So I'm glad we picked a little bit up on the dips last week, but this has been the greatest stabilizer to my portfolio this year and has been the outperformer, really helping propel my TFSA where I hold the bulk of this position. Regardless, the TSX today is being pumped up again on a lot of the basic material stocks. I mean, look at the growth here. These are moving up literally like the chip stocks are in the US. Gold and precious metals are our versions of chip stocks, right? Look at Barrick Gold here, guys. Now up 112% year to date, and coming into the week off those lows, if you bought it, you could have made a quick 10%. Are you effing kidding me? We're starting to see a bit of a retracement in the energy stocks that were pumping last week. And I think those pumps were out of fear. A lot of people taking profit on the big tech companies, a little worried, transitioning it into oil and healthcare. But now all that money is just going back into the mega cap banks, tech, and gold stocks, right? I mean, again, gold hasn't moved all that much, trading for around 4,100. It is still trekking to the upside. Silver over $50, guys. All the other metals still doing pretty strong overall. Yeah, this is truly the midst of an incredible bull market. I don't know when this comes to an end, guys, whether you believe the AI bubble or not, how long the musical chairs and the circle jerk can go on with NVIDIA, who really knows? But regardless, you got to just keep buying, guys, keep your head down and just stay in it because I couldn't have predicted this, and I'm blown away by the growth this portfolio has experienced. But I'll pass the question off to you. How's your portfolio performing? What stocks are you interested in? And how do you see this Monday affecting you in that comment section below?